Plagued by recent flooding in the west, the twin towns of San Ignacio and Santa Elena were the beneficiaries of the Belize Urban Resilience and Disaster Prevention Project, an initiative between the governments of Belize and Taiwan. Today, the achievements of that partnership were presented.
This project is basically to see how we can do some adaptation to build resilience in the area of disaster risk reduction. I think the project looked at areas where we normally have flooding, especially when we have heavy rains in a short period of time and we have that type of flooding. And so they looked at certain areas where it needed drainage, larger culverts, both in San Ignacio and also a section of Bulchi village. And so guiding that water that comes from the hills especially down into the lower areas, and then instead of going into people's yards and flooding out, to find a way through to a lagoon or into the Belize River.
Many objectives.
The project, which was funded by the Republic of China, Taiwan, strengthens bilateral relations between both countries.
Over the past 32 years, Taiwan maintained a very close and robust interaction with Belize government and the people. And over the 32 years, both Taiwan and Belize also cooperated in implementing many projects and programs ranging from public health, education, and disaster prevention, and climate resilience, and some like transportation. And the most important one is the climate resilience. So we know that both Taiwan and Belize are facing the same challenges and difficulties caused by the climate change.
We have had assistance from them in the area of agriculture, education, of course, with a lot of scholarships. There has been cultural exchanges. And now in the area of disaster risk management, and I think recently also we have seen some input from them in the area of infrastructure development, and even with a project going up north. I will tell them also that from our standpoint of sustainable development, we would like to see this move forward into the area of technology and innovation.
While coastal communities are considered most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, Minister Orlando Habet says that the hope is that the project will focus on flood-prone areas in the Belize District.
Whilst we understand the severity of the problem, especially from coastal communities, in terms of disaster risk management, those areas would be very expensive to address, especially if you start looking at seagrass restoration, reef restoration, which is extremely expensive. So I think that the conversation we're having right now with them is that maybe we can look at other areas along the Belize River Valley, where we have the floodwaters that remain for 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks at a time. So we're looking possibly at that area, and maybe areas in Toledo and Orange Walk where we also have some flooding.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.